All right, yesterday the Chiefs traded for Giants wide receiver Kadarius Toney in exchange for a third-round compensatory pick and a sixth-round pick, and some of Chiefs Kingdom was ecstatic. Some were questioning the move, like, why do we need a receiver? And in spite of all this, some things have come up about Kadarius Toney, character issues, him faking injury, arguing with fans, being immature, and people are questioning the moves that the Chiefs made to get him and wondering if he's going to last here in Kansas City. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about Mecole Hardman's future and a couple other things, and then we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A hangout. But first, how about those Chiefs? What's up, guys? If you're new, my name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs, so make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button, all that good stuff. And let's get into this video. Going to spew some thoughts out about Kadarius Toney, the trade, injuries, Mecole's future, some roster moves because of the trade. Then we'll answer some of your questions shortly after that. The first thing I want to pull up is an article here, minor character issues. Okay, before he was drafted, he was detained on campus for painting an airsoft gun, okay, to make it look like an AR-15. And that was in May of 2018. But then in June of 2018, he was pulled over for a seatbelt violation, allegedly, during a stop. And the police discovered a loaded AR-15 in the backseat of his car. So he was initially handcuffed for safety reasons, but Florida has an open carry law, so it was all good. He got let go, and there wasn't much more than that, other than just some immaturity, arguing with fans, and stuff like that. Now, I pulled up this article from the Giants, somebody reporting from like the New York Giants perspective, and they were saying Toney's time with the Giants was odd. From the first day he set foot on the practice field in rookie minicamp, when an apparent cleat issue left him practicing with one shoe off, he skipped OTAs, something rookies would never do. He had COVID-19 twice, had a couple of social media incidents, had hamstring, quad, ankle, oblique, and shoulder injuries, and he's only played in 10 games. I thought it was 12 of 24 games, but I don't know how old this article is. Then they go on to say, yeah, he did play in 12 because he played in 2 this year. But they say this year he skipped the beginning of OTAs, missed the rest of spring practices after having minor knee surgery, suffered 3 separate hamstring injuries beginning in training camp, played in 2 games, and contributed 0 yards receiving, 23 yards rushing. So obviously Giants fans were kind of happy to see him go. Okay? Now, people are kind of freaking out about this tweet. Kadarius yesterday, after trading, thank you, God, excited to be part of Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs Kingdom, let's go. He tweeted a couple tweets like that. Then he, I think, was supposed to respond to somebody's tweet. Instead, he just like posted it as a tweet. But he said, that joke would have been funny if I was actually hurt still. Irrelevant people don't get updates. For whatever reason, a lot of people took this tweet forgetting to read the word still. Okay? So people are reading it like this. That joke would have been funny if I was actually hurt. LOL. Irrelevant people don't get updates. So what people were saying is, oh, look, Kadarius faked his injury. He wasn't injured. And he was just playing hardball to demand a trade. And here we are. He got his wish. And now because of that, magically, Kadarius is now healthy and is seen doing high knees on his flight to Kansas City. If it works for Mr. Limited, who can no longer cook Russell Wilson, it should work for Kadarius Toney. Okay, that part's a joke. But people were taking this tweet and saying, oh, wow, look, he wasn't hurt. He literally says, if I was actually hurt still. Okay, and I don't claim to know. I don't have inside knowledge here. But all I know is that the Giants said he was hurt. He's been missing games. The Chiefs medical staff are going to check him out. Don't we trust the Chiefs medical staff? Okay, I think we can trust the Chiefs medical staff to properly evaluate him. If he passes his physical, the trade will become official. So I'm not really worried about that. But I just wanted to address this because people were saying, see, I told you he was faking his injury. It's like people can't read. Literally says the word still, meaning I was hurt. He did have off-season minor knee surgery, so that's nothing new. Then yesterday, this happened as well. Okay, Kadarius ended up DMing a fan, or not even a fan, a Giants fan on Instagram. He started the message feed. You can see it right here. It's up top, right here. But what happened, this guy right here, Giants sideline, basically said, man, quit crying on IG and Twitter. Move on. I understand you're petty that you got traded, but move on. So Kadarius actually goes into his DMs and argues with him. I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's a lot of blurred out words there, and he's using verbiage that me as a very pasty Irish white man could never use, or I would get shut down forevermore. And I don't like to use, wouldn't want to use that word anyway. But basically, this is yesterday, just showing him going off on a fan, saying, check your bank account before responding, calling him some interesting words, saying, you ain't ever going anywhere. This is a slight cause for concern. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu was doing this on some level as well. But when you're an athlete, a professional athlete, you've got to just be above that. You're making millions of dollars, like you're saying in your comments and your messages. So don't worry about trolls. Don't worry about people messing with you. Hopefully, when he comes to KC, this is stuff that obviously Andy Reid and Brett Veach and company think that they can work with and help as far as Kadarius and the character issues, quote unquote. I'm using that term in quotes, but this is stuff that it's like, all right, I don't know how much I like seeing that, but he's only 23. Okay. When I was 23, I was going crazy online, and I still kind of do it on a more tame level. But those are a couple things that I wanted to bring up to the attention and kind of talk through. I do believe Coach Reid, if anybody can do it, Brett Veach, Coach Reid, their staff there, they're going to be able to handle this. They're going to be able to, bring out the best of Kadarius Toney. They're going to be able to bring what they see on film and translate that onto the field. I do believe Toney's going to be a little happier catching passes from Patrick Mahomes than Daniel Jones. A couple more things that I want to talk about a little bit more here. Could Toney have been faking the injury? Maybe. Could Toney have won it out of New York? Probably. But he's still, if healthy, a very elite level player that has room for a lot of potential upside. Okay, I did a film review yesterday, dropped it last night. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure to check it out. He is got Dante Hall DNA. He's got Dante Hall blood in his veins. I mean, just, it's pretty crazy. Now, the big key is, can he stay healthy? Can the Chiefs mold him? Will he fit in the offense? I mean, in theory, yes. So I'm not extremely worried about that. A little more worried about the injuries. He's been pretty injured. He did have off-season knee surgery. I don't want to keep going in circles here, but those are a couple things that I saw. I also know the Giants had a new regime kind of come in, and maybe he didn't get along. Maybe they would have never even drafted him. Maybe they didn't want him. Okay? And so they got what they could out of him, a third-round compensatory pick and a sixth-round pick, and the Chiefs get somebody that's potentially semi-low risk. It's basically a fourth-round draft pick, the beginning of the fourth round, end of the third, however you want to look at it, in a sixth-rounder, and you get some potential upside. What I think he's going to be doing is returning punts quickly, potentially. He returned about 13 or 14 punts, did have a punt return for a touchdown, but again, 13, 14 punt returns, it's not a ton. It's actually less than I thought, so I apologize for you asked me about his punt returning experience, and I said he has a decent amount. It's not a lot, but look at how he's able to move. Look at how he's able to be a Dante Hall Jr. of sorts. Okay, I don't want to coin him Dante Hall because Dante Hall is a legend, but he's got that DNA. So when you look at that, you think, well, that's a way he could contribute pretty early on the team. because you don't really need to know the playbook to return punts. Not too much. I think they'll work him in small ways in the offense. He also doesn't cost a lot, okay? He's on his rookie deal, has a couple years left. They could also enable his fifth-year option if they wanted to. And this is where I now want to talk about Mecole Hardman's future. In a video recently, I said the writing may be on the wall for Mecole Hardman. What I meant by that, for those of you who hadn't seen me talk about this in last night's video, I don't think Mecole Hardman is going anywhere this year. I also like Mecole Hardman, and if the Chiefs can work out a deal with Mecole Hardman and extend him next year for a couple years, and it's a team-friendly deal and they can just make it work on all sides, that's freaking great. But I will say, trading for Toney kind of throws a wrench into this a little bit, because if healthy, he could probably do most of what Mecole Hardman does on offense. Some things better. Maybe some things he'll have to still work on. So let's just say we'll be conservative. Let's say he can do 85 to 90% of what Mecole Hardman can do. Jet sweeps. He can do stuff out of the wildcat. He's a former quarterback. And my film review has that in there from last night. He can throw passes. I mean, I'm not saying Andy Reid and company will do that, but he can throw passes. He can run out of the wildcat, jet sweeps. He can catch 50-50 balls. He's a little bit taller than Mecole. A tad slower on paper, 4.3940 instead of a 4.3340. But that's where I worry about Mecole Hardman and his future here because of this trade. Now, if the Chiefs just would have went straight defensive end or defensive line, and maybe they still will before the trade deadline, we would still be having more probably of a positive conversation about Mecole Hardman. I would like to see him here next year, but if you had to pick, do you extend Juju Smith-Schuster or do you extend Mecole Hardman? I mean, I would probably say Juju if you have Toney around and he's healthy. Okay, that's just my thoughts there. I'm just a fan, guys. I'm not an expert, okay? We know that. None of us are. We're not Veach. We don't know what they're planning. We don't know what the end of the season is going to look like. We don't know what injuries are going to happen. Juju could get injured. I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but there could be something happen to a player weeks from now that affect the Chiefs' ability on what they want to do in the offseason. Orlando Brown Jr. may not work out at left tackle. That could throw a wrench in some things. So when I talk about Mecole's future, I would like him here. He's not going anywhere this season. He's not going to suddenly be benched. Okay? He's producing. He's very effective. He scored 3 TDs last game. So I just want you guys to know that. I like Mecole. And when I said writing on the wall, didn't mean like, oh, Toney's here, so just sit Mecole because he's worthless. Not at all what I'm saying. Could the Chiefs trade Mecole? I don't think they could now, but I don't think they will. It's going to take Toney a while to get accustomed to the offense. You could do bubble screens and jet sweeps with them pretty quickly, But, some people were kind of going in on me about that with the Mecole Hardman thing. So I just wanted to address that. I think Mecole's awesome. I think he has a great attitude, which is really good. High character human, high character person. So I like that about him. And so with the trade, Kadarius Toney, Zach Eisen tweeted this because people are like, well, whose roster spot is he taking right now? And what's that going to look like? So we're talking about roster moves as well a little bit. He says, Kadarius Toney will take Frank Clark's roster spot for the time being because Frank Clark is suspended for 2 weeks. That frees up his roster spot on the 53. But what happens when Clark is back and they activate McDuffie? Who gets cut? Then you also have Blake Bell and Lucas Niang supposed to return soon. Chiefs roster could get shaken up in the next few weeks. Let me answer this a little bit, and then we'll jump into the Q&A. They activate McDuffie. That's coming, pretty much. Andy Reid said after the bye, McDuffie's going to be back. Mike Dana's going to be back, defensive end, and then Rashad Fenton's going to be back. So they're going to have to make room for McDuffie when they bring him back. Frank Clark's gone for 2 weeks, so that does free up a spot, and you get a little bit of breathing room. But Blake Bell, he'll probably come back this season, coming off that hip surgery. I am unsure at this point, guys, about offensive tackle Lucas Niang. I am just not sure. We will see if he comes back, and if he does, I don't think he's going to be an instant starter at the right tackle position. I think he might get used for safety precautions, but I don't know that he's just going to instantly start over Wiley. They may start working him in on like a limited snap count and see how he does, see how he performs. And maybe he could earn that spot near the end of the season. It's a big injury, off-season surgery for a big man. Lucas Niang is huge, so a lot more pressure on your joints the more you weigh. So those are just some of my thoughts, guys, about Kadarius, the character concerns, his injuries.
When it's grim, be the Grim Reaper.
Joel with the membership. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Then you've got him arguing with fans. Hopefully this is all stuff, guys, that Coach Reed, these guys can just mold him, develop him, help mature him. Him being under Patrick Mahomes, who is a great leader. Travis Kelce, who is a great leader. Even Mecole Hardman, he's a vet, and he has a solid head on his shoulders. I do think this is a team, if there was any, that could take somebody like Kadarius Toney and help him become the man, that he's called to be. Whatever, like they could help draw out the best of him. So with all that being said, we'll start hanging out, do a Q&A, and I got to go at 1:45 because me and my wife are going on a one-night getaway. No kids, praise him, because it's the bye week. So I'm taking a little bit of time off after this video. And but I did want to go live. I was going to do a pre-recorded video. Instead, I was like, let's just go live. I'll voice my thoughts, and then we'll hang out because I normally do a Friday Q&A. And I'm gonna pull up chat so I can answer some of these questions. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. We got 340 people in here. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything I talked about. Kadarius, what do you think about the character concerns? What do you think about his injuries? Where do you think you're going to see him on the offense? Put question marks at the beginning of your comments too so I can find them. What do you think about Mecole's future? What do you think about these roster moves? Let me know. Let's chat about it for a little while here, guys. What's up? Hazel, please at least message me your thoughts on if the Chiefs do not acquire a pass rusher, we will not win the Super Bowl. I don't know that it's impossible to win a Super Bowl without more D-line help, but I think it would help. I was thinking the Chiefs' first move, before the trade deadline would be for the defensive line. It's still not out of the question. Kadarius's cap hit this season is like $750,000, something like that. And Frank Clark being suspended for 2 games just gave the Chiefs like $450,000 in cap space. So they're paying like $300,000 for Kadarius Toney this year. It's a very small hit. I don't know that they're going to take a wild swing at the D-line, but maybe they make a small trade or they pick up a free agent. I would be somewhat surprised if they don't make some sort of move to help elevate the D-line. With Mike Dana dealing with the calf injury, they said he's better, but he's been struggling with that since like week 2, and then Frank Clark's out for a couple weeks, and then he's kind of unreliable, guys. I like Frank Clark. He had a great game last week, but like he left the game before at halftime with the stomach issues or the sickness, and he's still dealing with that. So just bringing somebody in to help alleviate some of that from Frank Clark would be helpful. To give Chris Jones a little bit of help would be helpful. So I would like to see that. I would like to see a move on the D-line just to help them a little bit. Cole is a stud. Appreciate you, Tatum. I trust our staff. AFC Championship. Yeah, 4 of them in a row. Enough said. Yes, sir. Reed will whip Toney into superstar shape. I like that. Straight up stole that, man. I have been wanting this guy for a while. When New York drafted him, I thought the hopes were over, but Veach is smart. Hopefully Andy can fix his little dude, and playing on a championship team should help. Yeah. Finally caught alive. What's up, family man? Right off the bat, Big Red will get him into a veteran player. Yeah. Can't no one fix Toney other than Toney. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, it all falls on yourself. You could put someone in the best situation. You could put the best people around them. But at the end of the day, I sound like a motivational speaker, but seriously, at the end of the day, you are who you want to become. You make the decisions. Your choice. But putting him in a better situation, in a healthy environment with people who will pull out the best of him. Not saying the Giants weren't doing that, but he has a really good chance to succeed here in Kansas City. If anywhere, it's in Kansas City. He punched Kazi last year. Oh, I missed that. Talked a lot about Juju and dudes actually. Yeah, Juju's been awesome, man. A sweetheart. That's a funny term. But, yeah, I mean, the only thing people really had on Juju is he's quote-unquote a little odd, and he likes to make TikToks. But, dude, all the vibes I get from him, he's a super chill, down-to-earth guy who loves his freaking dog and plays video games, but he balls out on the field. So let's go, dude. I ride strapped. It's not that I'm coming. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. When he got arrested or detained or held, he got put in cuffs in 2018 for having that loaded AR-15, but Florida's an open carry state. Again, if Frank Clark was in Florida, Frank Clark wouldn't even be suspended, I don't think. You guys could tell me if I'm wrong, but if Frank Clark was in Florida, we wouldn't even be suspended. You know? So it just depends on the state you're in. Toney's going to be a headache. He's going to have to grow up a little bit, but so did 87 and 10. Yeah, man, I mean, think about that. Travis Kelce was wild when he got here, y'all. I'm not saying, I don't know if he had wild character issues off the field. You guys could quote me if I'm wrong there, but he was wild in games, throwing flags at the ref, doing this towards the ref. Like, yeah, Travis Kelce was wild. Yeah, guy has 89 tattooed on his back, and he picked up 19. I could actually show you guys. He already fixed his tattoo. I don't know. You guys might want to see that. Look, he already got his tattoo fixed. So that's nice. This is his back. But he got it fixed, so I'm happy for the guy. Got it fixed up. Looks good. It's going to be something of a head case. Wonder how he's going to impact the locker room. I think the locker room in Kansas City is fine. It's a very healthy place. People know who's in charge. I mean, they drafted a lot of high-character guys who love the game. Trent McDuffie, solid head on his shoulders. George Karlaftis, Leo, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Sky Moore. All these guys will follow the leader, and they'll do it respectfully. And the leader is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, a lot of Justin Reed. A lot of high-character guys here. I think he's going to be all right. I don't think it's going to impact the locker room too bad because I think they'll pick him up. He wasn't faking anything. I think there's a rift. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You never know. But I think he was legitimately injured, and he did have off-season knee surgery. And he'll wear 19, guys. You just buy you an all-white Mahomes jersey? Let's go, dude. Toney smells like Antonio Brown. I don't think anybody's as bad as that guy, bro. Honestly, man, Antonio Brown needs help. It's crazy how different he was after that hit he took years back. Crazy, man. Yeah, he picked 19 as his number. Yeah. New York media is rough when you're not producing. Yeah, crazy, huh? Glad we picked him up. He's talented. Hopefully, hopefully not, man. All you can do is hope for the best. And we don't want to assume the worst, but I did want to bring it up because a lot of people have been talking about it. So, his character issues coming in was just he carried a gun legally in Florida, and then he spray painted an AR, a fake one, an airsoft gun on campus, which, okay, that could be a little scary. But yeah, this is live stream, man. I did the live stream a little bit different. I did it at first in the style of one of my pre-recordeds because, yeah, me and my wife are going away for a day and a half, and I won't have a pre-recorded video come out today. This is it. So I'm killing two birds with one stone today. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, that could probably be a role, play a piece. That's why they drafted, I can't remember who they drafted this year, guys, but the Giants drafted another receiver that's semi-similar to Kadarius Toney. You guys could comment his name below if you know. I'm sure you do. It's escaping me right now, but he could have not got along with the new regime. I don't know though that the new regime would be like, oh yeah, he's hurt, so he can't play. I don't know about that. Kelce and Hill and some character issues. Yeah. You're right. He can be used the same. Yeah. Dexter McCluster. I like that. Should have went after Odell. Well, Odell's not going to be ready till mid-December. We can't go after him right now. And they went after Toney because he's still on his rookie deal. We'll have him for 2 years, 2 or 3 years for like $5 million. It's like nothing. Especially if he's just even like, think about a veteran special teams contributor. Obviously, he's not a veteran. He doesn't have a ton of punt experience, but if he even pans out in that regard, guys, we have a loss to the Colts, not solely because of Sky Moore, but if that muff punt didn't happen, you think we would have lost? The Colts could not score. They put up a touchdown and 2 field goals all game and scored that final TD near the end of the game. You take that 7 points away, you more than likely, I don't want to pin the loss on one person because it's a team game. The Chris Jones penalty happened. Mahomes had some miscues. The offense wasn't firing on all cylinders. So multiple places to put blame. But if trading for Kadarius Toney prevents muffed punts from happening, don't you think it's worth it? Even if it's just for that. If he could just catch the punt and not fumble. Now, we could just argue, well, why didn't we just put Mecole Hardman back there? Well, it's a really good question. I think Mecole Hardman next season is going to get offered a lot of money in free agency, more than the Chiefs are going to want to pay for him. And if Kadarius Toney stays healthy, can do 90% of what Mecole Hardman can do, even just 90 in certain aspects. They save a bunch of money, and Mecole Hardman gets to go get paid and be happy. So we'll see how that pans out. But that's kind of where my thoughts is. What's up, Jonathan? How's it going, brother? Not impressed with this guy. Hopefully he'll do stuff, stay healthy. Yeah, hopefully so. This is a good dart on the board. Risk can be high or low based on his health. Yeah, and at the end of the day, they lost a 3rd-round compensatory pick and a 6th-round pick, and they're out $5 million. So it's not the highest risk. It's surprising to me because it's more of a trade for the future rather than it is right now, which you would think they would have maybe made a swing on a defensive end, somebody on the D line that could help contribute right now. So I'm a little confused by that. And I am checking Twitter to make sure no other trade has happened. Only thing everybody's talking about is Tom Brady and all that's going on there, and I don't even really want to talk about that, man. Hardman needs to be extended. Yeah, maybe so. I just don't know if the Chiefs will fork out how much other teams are going to offer him in free agency. Yeah, he's going to want a bag, and it's going to be hard to turn down a bag when teams are going to offer it. If we pulled up wide receiver contracts right now, we're going to find people that Mecole Hardman is clearly better than, if not at the same level, that are making quite a bit of money. $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million per year. More. So it's just a matter of what are the Chiefs going to do? Where are their priorities? They got left tackle to worry about. Chris Jones extension potentially to worry about. You have a couple other people that need extended. Maybe you want to extend L'Jarius Sneed early. Juan Thornhill's on a contract year. So there's a bunch of people on 1-year deals as well. Lots to think about, certainly. Yeah, and at the end of the day, this probably sums up the entire video. In Andy and Veach we trust. Both of those names are spelled wrong, but I know what you're saying, Steve Brown. They do their due diligence, man, and they have one of the most successful organizations in recent history just because of how good they are. So we got to trust them, right? You're recovering from foot surgery? Dang, dude, hopefully it went well, man. Yeah, he was also a high school quarterback. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kadarius Toney can come in and operate and do a lot of what Mecole could do because of that. Similar backgrounds, both pretty quick. Both could be utilized in jet sweeps. I mean, he was utilized in jet sweeps with the Giants, so he can do a lot that Mecole can. Yes, sir. Juju came from a team that was suffering. I think he'll be more reasonable. Perhaps, but I also think Juju's going to get offered a bag in free agency if he keeps balling out like this. Hey, Nancy, go back to the beginning of my video. I talked about it for about 15 minutes. And then I did a film review last night of him. But it's potential, lowish risk, high reward signing. I like the thought. I read out Mecole's confidence. No, I think he's going to stay motivated no matter what, John, because he's on a contract year. And again, it's not like Toney's coming in there right now and they're going to bench him. I don't think Mecole is going to see much change. I could be wrong here in the coming weeks, but I mean, regardless, Mecole's on a contract year and he's going to want to ball out. After what Mecole has done for the Chiefs, might be his last year because of how Veach deals with things. I understand that mindset, after what Mecole has done for the Chiefs, but like, he got drafted by the Chiefs. They took him in and they've developed him, and he has played well for the Chiefs. But at the same time, it's not like he could go anywhere else. You know what I mean? So, it might be his last year. Business is business, and that's sometimes the rough part of it for sure. We still barely work in Sky, and he's been here for many months. Yeah, it's going to take time. Watson would be on the bubble. Yeah, that's a good question of, like, what receiver is going to suffer in spite of Toney? Like, my thought is they may move a different roster group. Like, they may move somebody else. Like, they might keep 6 wide receivers on the roster. And because Justin Watson still plays special teams. Again, I'm not saying special teams is everything. If they have somebody, they're like, hey, instead of Justin Watson playing special teams, we'll have this guy step up. And, maybe he gets cut and re-signed to the practice squad unless another team picks him up. But I don't know. We'll have to see there. I don't know, Nancy. I hope so. Really wouldn't worry about his character. He's a good teammate and does his job in the building. Well, I like that. Bro, I swear if they cut Justin Watson, I'm going to try to catch up. Let's ride and do high knees. Rojo is on the active roster. He's on the 53. He's not active on game day. You can only, I don't know the number off the top of my head. I think you can only dress like 46 or something like that, but you have 53 on the roster. Let me see. NFL teams are allowed 53 players, but they can only suit up 46 for a game since the active roster rules were changed in 2011. Chargers own Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes is 6-2 against the Chargers in his career. Not only is he their father, but he's your father and the entire Saints organization's father. Hit that like button. I appreciate that. Mahomes hitting COD with the boys. Yeah, Mahomes, the new Call of Duty dropped. Hashtag not sponsored. I wish. I think they all played together last night. Call of Duty was tagging him. See ya, Tommy. Are we gonna get more help for our D-line? Well, I hope we get more help for the D-line. I think at this point, Chris, thanks for the $13.99 Canadian, brother. I'll get there in just a moment. Well, actually, who would you like the Chiefs to trade for? Love the content. And it kind of goes along with this question here. Because if I had to say who I want the Chiefs to trade for, sorry, it's getting kind of warm, like under these lights. If I had to pick who I want the Chiefs to trade for, the position group for sure that I would want is D-line. Who? I think it's a matter of what can the Chiefs afford and what are the Chiefs willing to get up. A lot of people are saying, hey, bring in Sue. Some people are saying from the Bucks, trade for Vita.
That's right. Broncos country.
I don't know. I don't even know that I care. I think I would prefer personally defensive end. Mo, thanks for the 2-bomb, bro. Did you see Mahomes' tweet when we got Toney? I did not. I did not see that. I could look it up, though. But yeah, I would like to see defensive end. I know the interior took a bit of a hit with Tershawn Wharton tearing his ACL. The Chiefs know more than us what if they need interior help or exterior help. I don't really care as long as they get somebody who's going to elevate that D-line 5-10%. Like, even if they just do that, because they rotate these guys all around. Chris Jones has been playing on the edge. They've been moving Karlaftis inside. They've been loading them all up on one side altogether and rushing from that side. So Joe Cullen, Spags, they've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't really care who we get. I just think it would be nice to have a little bit of a buff on the D-line overall. I'm looking at oh, Patrick Mahomes shared a gif of The Rock smiling. Here, look at this. Patrick Mahomes shared this when he shared this gif when the trade happened. Dude, I love it. Let's go. Yeah, just get Toney playing COD with the boys. Facts. They have the #1 scoring offense in the league. Talking about the Chiefs? Because, yes, we do. Yes, sir. That's why I'm like, do we really need a receiver? Yeah. Yeah, kind of just answered that, Gary. Do you think Toney will play the slot mostly or outside? I think a nice fast slot could help a lot and take pressure off Kelsey. Good question. When I looked at the film on Toney yesterday from his 1 year with the Giants and then 2 games, they kind of used him they used him inside a lot, but they also had him out on the outside, and he caught some 50-50 deep balls. So I think he's flexible to kind of use wherever. Now, his strength, regardless, is catches within 10 yards because his ability to make people miss and his ability to get yards after the catch is pretty freaking insane. Brady is a bachelor, yeah. What's up, man? You finally come back to KC. Let's go. Chiefs locker room will improve his attitude. Yeah, I think I agree, David. Juju plays ball now. He has the best QB. Yes, sir. As long as his old dishwasher. Oh, no, dude. Yeah, please no. He should get 19 tatted on his torso. Yeah, I don't know if you should get your number tattooed on you at all. He has to change the Statue of Liberty tats to Western Auto. Or at least some barbecue joints, right? D. Robinson had a good game last night. I was working on content all night, so I only just glanced at the game during it, but I know that the Ravens lost. And, no, sorry, the Ravens won. The Bucs lost again. And it's not looking good for Brady. Y'all don't bring up Tony Gonzalez. This guy is weird, man. Tony Gonzalez, legend, hats off to him, but I'm talking about now, you know? I'm not stuck on the past like you are when the Saints used to be something, man. You know what I mean? High knees for 4 hours. Yeah, he's crazy, bro. Tony has elite traits, and I think he's an immediate upgrade. He did really well at Florida. Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of experience. He's only returned like 13 punts. If I'm wrong, let me know. But he hasn't returned many more punts than Sky. Just hopefully he can do it better. What's up, Brian? In regards to Hardman, I couldn't help but think that during the 49ers game, it was like they were beginning to fatten up the calf. Maybe. I mean, if you said, hey, we could trade Mecole Hardman for a defensive end, I mean, would you guys consider it? I don't know. Mecole isn't near as shifty. No, he's not as shifty. He runs a faster 40, but obviously that doesn't always translate to on field. Yeah. Here's the thing. Better is kind of like a relative term. Because if you're injured all the time, are you really better than somebody who is not injured and plays in almost every game? But I understand what you're saying. When I was watching this film, bro, if you guys haven't seen that film review, watch it after. This is pretty crazy. He is insane. You don't put your franchise receiver on kick returns. Chiefs would get a deal either way. Well, they're going to probably put him on kick returns. Sorry, the Nat is bad, dude. The Nat is back. Get out of here, man. Yeah, Fountain, Conley are gone from the practice squad. Yet people are complaining about losing a 4th rounder on Toney. I'm not complaining. I'm just a little surprised by the move. Quinn is gone. Quinn got traded to the Eagles for a 4th round pick. And the Bears are picking up most of his salary. Pretty crazy, man. I don't know if the Chiefs are done making moves. If they make another one, I wouldn't expect it to be insane. Probably a smaller signing than what just happened, but Legion of Zoom, rest in peace, sadly. Do you think we re-sign Frank? I don't know. The only way Frank Clark is back, in my opinion, is if he takes almost like a vet min deal. But I think another team would offer him more money than that. We'll have to see. Yeah, exactly, Charlie. Did Kelsey say anything about the trade? No, because when his podcast was recorded, the trade hadn't happened yet. Hardman isn't going to get a bag. He's not that good. He's going to get offered more money by a team than the Chiefs probably would, and he very well may take it. The wide receiver market is inflated, and people are overpaying left and right for wide receivers. Look at Christian Kirk, man. I mean, you could go down the list and look. And if the Chiefs can bring him back on a team-friendly deal and he just wants to stay in KC, like, it could happen. But I think he's going to get offered more than the Chiefs are willing to pay. This guy needs to do more. Toney will take over. We'll see. I think you can use them both in tandem. I mean, they're both going to be on the team for years to come. Toney right now, MVS, Sky Moore. That's all you got, under contract. There's Justin Ross. We'll have to see how that goes. If Hardman goes to Raiders or Chargers, I'm going to be sick. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The market's crazy, man. Where'd you get your hoodie? What's up, Dakota? Honestly, I have no idea. I got it in 2015 for Christmas, I think. People ask that a lot, and I really don't know. Those receivers were good. Kirk is even better than Hardman. I don't know why I keep reading your comments. Hardman, why can't Hardman deserve a bag in his own right? He's not going to get a Tyreek Hill bag. But he's been a very, considering where he is on the depth chart, he had 700 yards from scrimmage last year. So he's going to get paid. I know you don't like that for whatever reason, but guess what? You're not in control. I love Hardman, and I hope he stays on a team-friendly deal if I was another team. Yeah, he's going to get offered money. Probably not insane, but some money. Burns is low. What do you mean he's low? Is Kadarius faster than L'Jarius, and do you miss Charvarius, or will this trade bury us? Wow, man, you got me rapping up here. Is Kadarius faster than L'Jarius? Yeah, we like our names ending in ARIUS. Is Toney expected to get reps and play versus the Titans? That's to be determined. He needs to pass his physical, and then I'll be curious just to see what the Chiefs do with him. I think if he sees some reps, it's going to be pretty limited at first. I don't even know if we'll see him out on punts yet. We may. He's got the thing is they're bringing him in on a bye week, so they got a little bit of time. Yeah, Lamon's out. That makes sense. Never heard of a player faking injury. I mean, you'd probably be surprised. Some players fake injuries. Not widely documented, of course. And then the opposite is true, too. Some people play through injuries and don't report it. Now, I think it's a minority on both sides. I'm not saying he did fake an injury. I'm just reading what is kind of circulating out there. You think Kemp should have been punt returner? Well, isn't Kemp gone? Is he still here? I thought the Chiefs just cut him. Yeah, I don't actually. Can somebody remind me if he's still on the team? I don't know. Has Kemp really returned punts before? Off the top of my head, I can't recall. Who would you like the Chiefs trade for? Oh yeah, I did answer that, so I appreciate it, Chris. Thanks for the $13.99 bomb, brother. Bolts fam, let's ride. We haven't seen that in a while. I don't even know where that video is.
Bolt fam, let's ride.
Man, all those guys are getting injured. Thanks again for the 2 bomb. Yeah, that was dope. That was a dope tweet from Mahomes. I think, see D-line man in trade. Yeah, hopefully D-line. How did the Chargers? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Sue, Jordan, or Burns and get any one of those 3 and we'll be set. Some people have said also Josh Allen. So I've heard that. Josh Allen, Sue, Cam Jordan, Brian Burns. Let's freaking go, dude. What do you think is going to happen to Mecole? I talked about it earlier, quite in depth. It's unknown, but I will say Mecole getting extended now is a little bit complicated and complex with Toney here because he can do a lot of what Mecole can do, and some things he can do it better. So I don't know. Great question. Get Chubb for a second day. Create more cap space. Let's ride. I think you're talking about Bradley Chubb, and the Broncos aren't trading him to the Chiefs, man. That'll never happen. Most people who live in Cali are on hard drugs. If Chiefs don't deliver a Super Bowl next 2 years, do we question Andy Reid? No. I mean maybe, but not like harshly. 4 AFC Championship games in a row. We made it to 2. You know, we got demolished because of a completely depleted O-line in that Super Bowl, but I mean, he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches in history. So ultimately, yeah, Andy Reid's going to take some blame, but I don't know. It's an interesting question, but I'm not sure how much I personally am going to question that. Dude, we've been kind of spoiled. We've been spoiled lately, but also like just know how hard it is to get to the Super Bowl. Look up all the great QBs that have multiple rings. It's not a lot. There's not a lot of them. It's a pretty small list. Yeah, defense, let's go. Is catching the ball would make him better than Sky? Well, specifically on punts, yes. But Sky's pretty good at catching the ball, running routes. That's where I think his strength is. He didn't return any punts. I thought he did return some punts in college. I'd have to look it up, but I thought he did return some. Not a lot. Is Mahomes going to tighten up that spiral? I mean, Mahomes is the best QB in the league. He can throw however he wants, man. Could throw it left-handed. Shovel it. He could shot put it to CH in the back of the end zone. I don't think it matters. Leading the league in points per game, leading the league in total yards or passing yards. They lead the league in 3rd and long conversions. I think he's doing all right. What if they move Hardman to mainly punts? I don't think Toney's going to see crazy activity on the offense for a while. I think Mecole could move to punts now. That would have been my suggestion. That was my suggestion, honestly. Like, Mecole, return punts. He knows how. Put him in there. Especially if Sky's going to keep muffing punts, right? Charlie said, everybody hit that like button. I appreciate that. That will help push this video out into the algorithm. If you appreciate all the content I make, the hard work I put into these videos day in and day out, a like button will throw this into the algorithm a little bit, and I do appreciate that a ton. Let him walk. Hardman will get a bag. Another team will overpay. Yeah, I think they will. Frank Clark's cap hit is $9 million next year. That's more than what he's worth. Yeah, they have an out though. So without looking it up off the top of my head, I think they could part ways with him for pretty minimal loss. I'm checking Twitter, just making sure nothing's happening. Guys, I'm like terrified that something will happen when me and my wife are gone for a day and a half. We planned this because it's the bye week, but I didn't really think about the trade deadline. Sheesh. He can run routes. He's just not an elite route runner. I mean, that's something Toney has to work on himself a little bit. Yeah. Right, Chad? Hardman might end up getting Kirk money next season. Crazy. Great trade by the Chiefs. Toney has a lot more upside. Yeah, he is still Ronnie, he is potentially still available. Carolina is kind of posturing and saying they don't want to trade him. So he is reliable. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Hardman by any means. That was fire. How much will we re-sign Juju for? Dude, I don't know. If he keeps playing like this, the Chiefs might not be able to afford him next season. Let's just be honest. Unless he's like, hey, what can we reasonably do for me to stay in Kansas City, to stay with Pat and chase rings? If Juju, because Juju signed a 1-year deal to bet on himself and bank on it next year. We'll have to see. Casey was willing to pay Hill $25 million or more. They have the money to sign Hardman or Juju or both. Yeah, I think it's just now that Hill is gone, that ship has sailed. He was a generational talent, once in a lifetime receiver. You hate to lose that guy. Now it's just a matter of priorities.
Broncos country.
I think Mo, I'll get to that in just a minute. Thanks for the continued donos, man. I think Mahomes is going to continue to show you could pretty much give him whoever at receiver, and he's going to make it happen. Now, I would like a true wide receiver one. I would like Juju to stay. I'd like this stuff to happen. It's just a matter of priorities. Do the Chiefs want to buff up invest a little bit more in the defense? What are they going to do about Chris Jones? What are they going to do about left tackle? But you're right. At the end of the day, they're going to do whatever they want, and they'll make the cap happen. So you're right. Do you see Pacheco getting more work out of the bye? Pacheco was RB1 last week for what that was worth, so I think they're going to continue working him up. In the words of OBJ, winning fixes everything. Let's go. Mo with the 2-bomb. And he can do so much with Toney and Hardman together. Thanks for the 2-bomb, brother. Yeah. How fire is that? Think you had Mecole and Hill. So both are a thing, and both could see the offense this season. Toney will get ramped up. I'm just curious what next year is going to look like. And I feel like this was a trade made with the future in mind. We didn't need a wide receiver this season, y'all. Unless, again, they're like, we need somebody to return punts that badly. I don't think the move was just made to return punts, although it could help. If you want to move for this season, you go D-line. You go into the weakest spots on the roster, and if the Chiefs are putting up, in 7 games, they put up 3 40 bombs in 7 games. I think that, I don't even know how many 40 bombs they put up last year. It might not be much more than 3 all year. I could be wrong, but they're doing really well. They didn't necessarily need another receiver. That's why I feel like it was a future move, a move with the future in mind. Kemp here, he was on the 53 last game. Yeah, okay. Conley got put, dude, it all blends together and it moves a lot. I thought Kemp, for some reason, found himself back on the practice squad this week because he was I think he was a practice squad elevation. Yeah, it all blends together. Do you have an update on Lucas Niang? Well, Darian Kennard's here. He's held on the 53-man roster because he would never clear waivers to the practice squad. And he's just not quite ready yet. He's still being developed. Lucas Niang, Coach Reed said we may be able to see him back after the bye week sometime, but he couldn't promise it. I'm honestly, guys, I'm not a pessimist. You guys know me. I try to stay pretty optimistic, but at times I'm a realist. I just have this feeling in my stomach that we may not see Lucas Niang this year at all. The more weeks that go by, the more I wonder if we're actually going to see this man at all. Hope we do. I'm not banking on it at this point. Yeah, Jamar Chase is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hip injury, which could put him out for the game against the Chiefs. Would be a big loss for the Bengals for sure. Yeah, Titans poached Conley. Yeah, Conley's on their roster. Kennard is on the 53. Yeah, he's just not active. Sue's not coming back to play football. Were you nervous about your first appearance on the other show? Nah. On All Chiefed Up? Nah. Not really. We're just chilling, have a combo. Josh Allen from the Jags. Yeah, that'd be cool, huh? Imagine Hardman and Toney. Yeah, I think they will. Mo. Just putting out content nonstop. Your work ethic is top-notch. Little Redbeard. Thanks, KB. I like that. Little Redbeard. Here on this channel, we throw the word in little. Just all the time. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a ton. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos ride, let's country. Holy smokes. Yeah, they won't trade to the Chiefs. Yeah, facts. Toney, yeah, he did return punts. He returned 13 in college. Yeah. Why are you yelling at me, Ruben? I say we offer Washington a first, second, third, and a second next year for Chase Young. Holy smokes. Full send, huh? Gosh. I don't know if they'd give up that much draft capital. Hardman is a beast who's leading his role, kind of like Debo. Yeah. After last game, I said, hey, how can we use Mecole more in the backfield? Let's use Mecole and Toney in the backfield now. Good God. You just got a call. We traded Chris Jones. Stop it, dude. Because I know we didn't do that. Yeah. Per sources. Quit it, Charlie. Mo with the 5. Appreciate you, man. Toney and Hardman on the field together is going to be dangerous for defenses to try and play man because the separation Toney and Hardman gets is fire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. The Chiefs have been seeing a lot of man this year because of the lack of a quote-unquote deep threat. And obviously Hardman has been one of those deep threats. MVS has shown that he can be. But, yeah, adding Toney to the mix, it's fire, man. Thanks for the 5-bomb, brother. Really like your channel, bro. Slayer, thanks for the 3 and the encouraging and kind words. This is what I do for a living, man, and I literally wake up every day happy to come down here and bury my head in Twitter land and just studying analytics, going all over the place to find content for you guys. It's been a lot of fun for me. If the Chiefs move on from Mecole, I'd almost consider a tag and trade. No way OBJ gets the same offer next year. Oh, yeah, I mean, you could tag him. That's a thought. Yeah, it's a little complex. What are you going to do about Orlando? Yeah, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. Yeah, certainly. Juju go for $20+ million next year. Good God. When healthy, what will our DBs... I need to make a video on this still. I think Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, and Rashad Fenton will still see the majority of the playing time, with Rashad Fenton starting to see a mix-in with Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson. I'm not sure which two. You would think Jalen Watson, but Joshua... What am I doing with my hands? But Joshua Williams getting worked in Rashad Fenton's absence has played pretty well, all things considered. So I still think it's going to be L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie, Rashad Fenton, and then you start working in, you start lowering Rashad Fenton's reps and start working in Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams. That's what I think it's going to look like. I think Spags is going to be hesitant to just straight up pull Rashad Fenton out completely upon his return. But I do think you will see Jalen Watson and Joshua Williams mixed in there. What's up, man? What's your method of dealing with the bye week and waiting a week to watch your team? I forgot what that was like. I tried sending cash, but YouTube's not letting me? Gosh, dang it, YouTube. No, I appreciate that, man. No worries. I mean, it did help that we had a trade on the bye week. So that's really helping with content. Yeah, he'll probably get more than that. Can we not say the H word? Hill? Why? Anytime they blame the cap for not signing a player, yeah, the cap is a myth a little bit, huh? I think it's Hill, but it's fine. I don't over talk about the guy. People were still telling me, quit talking about Tyreek Hill in my videos, but it's like, my videos were literally comparing how the Chiefs were doing the first 7 weeks of the season without Hill compared to with him last year, because the talk was, oh, the Chiefs are going to take a major step back without Tyreek Hill on the team, and I obviously proved that's not true. No thanks. Hardman under 1-year deal between 6 to 8. I think he'll get more than that and longer by another team, personally. Put me up there. Sheesh. I wish Cornell Powell would get on the roster. I like that guy. Yeah, he's back on the practice squad, isn't he? Pretty sure. When are we getting together for a watch party? Great question, man. Great freaking question. Now that I stream all the games, I have no idea. May have returned 13 in college. He also returned kickoffs. That's good to know. I don't think it was a ton. How many did he return, Charlie? Do you know? Glad to see another KC YouTuber. Yes, sir. I'm from Kansas City. I live in Lee Summit. But I was born and raised in KC, so I'm still in the KC area. Mandy's vulnerable to wasp. You right. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that, brother. I still feel we need Defense more all of Brady's bowls. He had a top 5. Bro, could you imagine if we had a top 5? Holy smokes. It'd be over. Yeah, strategic move for the Chiefs to trade this week on the bye week. What's up, Eric with a 5 bomb? Would you be nervous to be on KC Chiefs report? Type 1 for nah, type 2 for groin spasm. Nah, dude, I wouldn't be nervous. I don't have anything against, like, as much as I troll that channel, I have nothing against Harrison. They're not going to want me on there, though. Are you kidding me? You kidding me, man? Thanks again for the support, Eric, like always. Bro, we talk about Hill on this channel. Look at this. Wait. We got it framed. Certified, signed Tyreek Hill jersey. Tyreek Hill is a legend. He's a Chiefs legend, man. We have to put respect on his name. It's fine to talk about him. You know, it's not like he's, you know, did something insane. The Chiefs traded him. He wanted money. Secured generational wealth for his family. Okay? Can't knock the guy. Now, that being said, he said some stupid stuff this offseason, and we went off on him for that. What up, Upgraded? What's up, dude? Hit likes. I like Mecole. Yes, sir. Me too. What do you think Pacheco and Niners game means for Clyde? Great question. I wonder, I need more of a sample size because they said Pacheco was going to be RB1, and get this, guys. Isaiah Pacheco did not even know that he was RB1 and until right before the game. So he didn't even know. The report, we knew before Pacheco knew because it was reported on Twitter that morning. We knew before. So let's see what happens next game. At the end of the day, man, Pacheco only got 2 or 3 more snaps than CEH and Jerick McKinnon had the most. So I don't know what it really meant. I just don't think we sign Odell later, but you know, if they're signing another receiver, it's going to be one of the probably, Justin Watson, somebody down like that. Favorite restaurant in Lee Summit? I don't know. I mean, we like Jack Stack a lot. We eat a lot of Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, but none of that's exclusive to Lee Summit. Independence, let's go, dude. Appreciate it, Huck. Yes, sir. Yeah, somebody mailed me that, bro. Certified signed Tyreek Hill jersey. I was making sure the little certification thing didn't fall out. Where do you think Mahomes needs the most improvement? Oh, gosh. The most improvement? I think some of it's just getting rapport and timing and trust established with his new receiving core. You know, I feel like last week he stayed in the pocket really well. His O-line held up, and he went through his reads instead of bailing out of the pocket early. That's what I would say would have been a critique, is he just bails early, but sometimes it's because the O-line doesn't hold up. And then another thing, if I had we're really splitting hairs here when we critique Patrick Mahomes because it's so minor. He's been off on a lot of his deeper connections with his receivers. Again, I think that just goes back to continuing to develop rapport and trust with those new receivers. He's used to throwing bombs to Tyreek Hill, who, even if he overthrew Tyreek Hill could catch it. Bro, you ain't want to know, bro, I'm a white guy that will never, ever hit the gritty. I've seen way too many viral videos on Twitter from NFL players trying to do it, and it's just so bad. I don't think we should trade Tyreek, no. What up? Best Football YouTube. Oh, thanks, man. Who's the best QB all time? Ooh, man. Dang, dude. Great question. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, Joe Montana, legend. Terry Bradshaw, legend. I mean, Tom Brady's going to be up there, man. People don't like it when I say that on this channel, but it just is what it is. Tom Brady is up there. He's the GOAT in my opinion, but people don't like when I say that, but this is my opinion. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, in recent history. He's the best QB in the league today, and just over the past 5 years, it's been absolutely insane. Guys, I got about 4 or 5 minutes left. How did I forget this, Alexander? 3rd Street Social. We go down there a lot. Yeah, we used to go on Mondays, bro. Yeah, we used to go on Mondays because they have $5 burgers. And yeah, Drew Lock's parents run it. Yes, sir. Don't let them know that I talk smack on Drew Lock. I only gave him a hard time because he was on the Broncos. I don't really care now that he's on the Seahawks. I think it's one of the best things. Wait. What do you think is the one thing holding Chiefs back? Ooh. I mean, one thing that's holding them back a little bit is their inability to get to the quarterback when they rush 4 on defense, which is why I've been saying hopefully they make some sort of a move for D-line, establishing a more effective run game. Kind of holds them back at times, but when are they ever going to do it, guys? Andy Reid's been here how long? And then Patrick Mahomes has been the starter for how long? They're a pass-heavy offense. It just is what it is. And you can't complain too much when they lead the league in points per game. They lead the league in passing yards. They lead the league in touchdowns. I think they lead the league in passing touchdowns. So some of those stats might reverse a little bit because they're on a bye week this week and the Bills are back. The Bills had a bye week last week, but whatever. So those are a couple things to keep in mind. Hunt to Bills is looking like a thing. Oh my gosh. Kareem Hunt to the Bills? Lord have mercy. That's not good. What's up, man? What's up, Sean? No worries, man. I'm about to I talked about it in the beginning, Drew. If you just go back to the beginning, I talk about it in depth, but basically in 2 sentences or less, Kadarius Toney could do 90% of what Mecole Hardman could do on this offense, and some of it he could do better. Mecole's not going anywhere this season. Okay, this isn't an instant Toney just goes in there and Mecole's on the bench. But the upside is there, and he's a lot cheaper. He's still on his rookie deal. I've noticed 15 missing a few more open guys this year. Yeah, not used to that. Yeah, exactly. Patience. Yeah, pass rush. Yeah. I don't think he has a character concern. I think when he went into the Giants, the particular coaching staff said, hey, this is going to be your role. Yeah, maybe. He looks old for 23. Yeah, I don't know. Like, his character issues seem minor to me. He just seems like he needs to mature a little, but that's fine. He's only 23. Mahomes' only weakness that he's not on the Broncos. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. So glad he ain't there. And that didn't happen because of coaching staff. I think there was some resentment. Okay, I could see that, I guess. Yeah. Kareem Hunt goes to the Bills, and they have 2 really good kick. What are they? Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. You're the only good ginger in this world. Well, thanks, broski. Appreciate that, man. Enjoy your mini vacay? Yeah, thanks, man. I'm excited. Brady looks to me what Jordan looked like when he went to the Wizards. That was rough, huh? I highly doubt Kareem goes to the Bills. They have Akers and Singletary. Have a great mini vacay. See you soon. Would you be surprised if they trade Chris Jones? Sorry, I had to take a big swig of the beer for that one. Yeah. I would, because without Chris Jones, there's no D-line. Let's just be honest. Chris Jones is the Chiefs' D-line. You know, in some regard, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if Brett Veach and company will trade away Tyreek Hill. Nobody's off limits. I do think, though, Chris Jones wants to be here and stay here. Now, he's out playing Aaron Donald this season, and Aaron Donald, his contract is huge, so Chris Jones is going to potentially want a lot of money, but I think the chances of Chris Jones staying in Kansas City were higher than Hill's, even though at the time I thought Hill was going to stay in KC, but I would be a little surprised. We keep CJ or we fold the team? Yeah, I hope not, man. We make a trade. We made a trade but didn't get any better. How can we improve this year's roster? Yeah, that's why I don't know if they're done. I feel like that trade was something they stumbled upon when inquiring for players, and were like, oh, hey, this guy's fire. I think we could take him in, we could raise him up, and he could be an elite threat in our offense over the next few years. Because, dude, the Giants were using him on jet sweeps, fake jet sweeps. He was in the Wildcat doing RPOs. He's a former QB. He was throwing passes. They were using him just as a distraction in the backfield with motion. That's a lot of stuff the Chiefs like to do, man. A lot of stuff. Tyreek Hill bluff about the trade, got traded, and then he felt sour about it. Yeah, I think so, a little bit. Would you say we need better offensive line? I mean, if we could upgrade the tackle position a little bit, I would not complain. I think Orlando Brown Jr. is the best option we have at left tackle this year. I don't think that's going to change. If they could make a trade to upgrade and buff up the right tackle a little bit, that's who's given up the most pressures on the entire team, I believe, is Andrew Wiley. Now, he's gone up against both Bosas. He's gone up against Khalil Mack. He's gone up against Max Crosby. He's gone up against even more than that. I'm spacing who else he's gone up against right now, but he's gone up against a lot. So it should get easier a little bit as we face some of these other teams. Now, when we face the Raiders again, we face the Chargers again, the Broncos have a good defense. I think it's still going to remain tough. Cornerbacks, if Trent McDuffie's healthy and Fenton's healthy, I don't know that we need more cornerbacks, but if they want to make a small trade for a corner to elevate the floor of the talent in that room, I wouldn't complain per se. I mean, I would think D-line, offensive tackle, cornerbacks, those could all be legit moves, but I think D-line, offensive tackle, cornerback in that order. This is my wife probably saying, hey, we need to go. Who do you think is going to be the better corner? Sauce. Ooh. I don't know, man. That's a great question. Pat is daddy. I like Sauce a lot. I wish we could have got him, but I know we can't trade that far up. They're looking like a bodybuilder these days. Yeah, he's been lifting a lot. You know, when you have knee surgery and you can't do much, you're going to lift a lot. He'll need to probably shred down a little. Been working during the stream and I'm able to follow. Always good hanging, even just for a few, Cole. Appreciate it. Nick McPimpson. Appreciate you. You're always hanging out in here. Appreciate that a ton, man. The upgrade we need is running back, unless the rookie really steps up. Clyde gets stonewalled too much. Yeah, I just think the Chiefs are pretty much always going to be mediocre in the running back room. They took a big swing on Clyde in 2020, first-round pick. Definitely hasn't panned out. Definitely has not. Arguably faced the best QBs and pass rushers in the league this year. Yeah. I mean, we faced Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. I mean, just those three. I mean, Derek Carr's having a good season. The Raiders offense in passing is like top 5. They're like top 3 in yards or something. I mean, they're up there. What's up, NawFam? Do we have enough money to keep the whole wide receiver core next year? I mean, in a sense, the salary cap is a bit of a myth. The problem is the more moves you make in the short term, it affects, things down the line. So some of it is just how much do they want to bank on draft picks and stay young and therefore help the salary cap in the long term over the next few years. I mean, they could bring back Mecole. They could bring back Juju. Those are really the only two. I mean, I guess you could sign Justin Watson to another year deal. It's not impossible. It's really not. Is that why? I didn't really put that together, I guess. I guess I'm dumb. They just took the wrong running back. I find it funny that 55 got suspended and freed up he freed up like $450,000 in cap space or something like that. Hello.
Hi. Everyone's here.
Okay.
Love you. Love you guys too.
I'm being summoned.
You are being summoned. I have coffee for you.
Coffee? Jeez Louise. Oh, nice. Is Spag still hated on? Sometimes, yes. I would like to see Toney out of the backfield. Yeah. I think you could use him in a lot of different ways. Him and Mecole, that's a problem. Imagine they're both out there and they both are faking jet sweeps. They're both in motion in the backfield. One's lined up like a halfback. You think about a play where Patrick is in shotgun, Mecole's to his right, and Toney's to his left. Like, bro, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? Agree or disagree? What's up, Eric? Thanks for the 10 bomb, brother. Agree or disagree? Calling Trent McDuffie injury prone is premature and saying that Sky Moore hasn't performed is likewise silly. Also, Bolts fam, let's ride.
Bolt fam, let's ride.
Yes. Yeah. Calling Trent McDuffie injury prone, it's a little early, but he was injured a bit in OTAs. I think he got injured a little bit during training camp. No, preseason. He got a concussion. And then it's just unfortunate, but I don't know that he's injury prone. I think Toney has struggled a bit more with injuries than McDuffie, but he's still young into his career as well. John, another move is probably coming. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I told my wife I'd get off at 2, and it is 2:01. We have 555 in the chat. If you're new, man, make sure to sub. I do daily news about the Chiefs. Try to cover all things Chiefs. Check out some of my videos just over the past couple days. I have a cool short on Toney. I did a film study of sorts on him. And, yeah, we try to cover all things Chiefs around here. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will probably live stream a game on Sunday. I know the Chiefs aren't playing. I'm going to probably pick one of the AFC West games and live stream that and just hang out with you guys on Sunday. I'll be in touch about what game that's going to be, and I'll announce it in advance. But appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the likes, comments, super chats. Couldn't do what I do without y'all. I'm going to have a night without kids. It's going to be glorious to actually have an adult conversation without getting interrupted, so that'll be fun. But until next time, guys, let's go. Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?